What's going on, everybody? It's Core here, and today I want to talk about a topic that's been kind of bugging me for the past few months, and it concerns Need for Speed 2019. Alright, so the topic that we're going to be talking about is, well, actually I'm going to tell you about the topic through a question. How many times have you went on, I don't know, the Need for Speed subreddit, or perhaps Need for Speed content creators channels like LP Ripper 24, and you've seen a complete barrage of comments asking for Underground 3, or Most Wanted 2, or Most Wanted Remastered, or Carbon Remastered, or fan trailers that feature the M3 GTR from Most Wanted, or Razor's Mustang, or Eddie's Skyline, etc., etc., etc. How many times have you encountered such things? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today and why it bugs me so much. So, as we all know, Need for Speed games have fallen off in recent years. 2015 was flawed, but it was okay, and then Payback was, in my opinion, absolute crap. People everywhere are suggesting ways to improve the next Need for Speed game because everyone in the community wants the next Need for Speed game to be good, and they're suggesting all kinds of ways to do that, and I support that, and I really want Need for Speed 2019 to be a great game because, after all, it is Need for Speed's 25th anniversary this year. But one way that a lot of people seem to suggest is going back to the olden days, and that includes naming the next Need for Speed Underground 3 or Most Wanted 2 and have it feature the M3 GTR or Razor's Mustang or something like that. The same story elements as the old Need for Speed games, at least that's what I'm able to tell. And I want to say something to all of these suggestions and requests, and that's, well, I'll tell you what I think and then we'll elaborate on that. My thoughts are, backwards is not the only way forwards. What do I mean by that? Just because the next Need for Speed game, you want it to have the M3 GTR and the same character from Most Wanted and Razor as the villain, just because the game will go back to the old ways or it will be called Underground 3 and Most Wanted 2, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a good game. You can put the M3 GTR and Razor and Eddie and Cross, who I believe made a cameo appearance in Payback. You can put them in Payback, but Payback is still crap, and just because you have those old characters in there and old icon cars won't change anything. So I just want to say, going forward into the next Need for Speed, the way forwards is not backwards, if you understand what I'm saying. Even Ghost Games themselves said, I was gonna put up a screenshot, but it's a quote from community manager Ben Walk. He himself said they need new icon cars, and that's kind of my point here. And it also concerns the story, Need for Speed needs to move on, and you all need to move on from the olden days of Need for Speed when it was the M3 GTR and Razor and Eddie and Rachel, etc., etc. Need for Speed needs to move on with new icon cars and new characters, hopefully that are not as cringeworthy as the characters were in Payback. All Need for Speed needs to do is be a good game, which I have my doubts about, but I want it to be good, and I imagine a lot of the community agrees with me. All we want is for the next Need for Speed to be good, and I really want, and I imagine a lot of other people as well, want a part of the community to understand that going back to what made Need for Speed great a long time ago, over a decade ago, won't make it better. So that's basically it. There's not much more I can say here. This is just a message to the overly nostalgic part of the Need for Speed community. Just move on. Need for Speed needs new things and interesting things that'll keep it going. I understand that you have nostalgia and you want to go back because the past Need for Speed games were so good. It's completely normal to be blinded by nostalgia. Even I'm guilty of that myself. When the developers themselves want Need for Speed to move on, it's time for you to move on as well and accept that Need for Speed needs new and fresh ideas to stay relevant. Need for Speed stays relevant either way, but new and fresh ideas will keep it even more relevant. Alright, that's about it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching this kind of short video. I was actually expecting it to be a little bit longer, but thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to hit like and subscribe to my channel. Also, check me out on my social media, follow me on Twitter and stuff. Links will be in the description. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.